Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you all? I hope that you all are going good. Today I'm here with another topic which is human ear, its structure and function. So before going to the detail of the topic, I have a question that how you are listening to me right now. While you might know the answer that your speakers are creating the sounds and your ears are listening to it, but there is a lot more going on over here. So now that the speakers of your phone, what are they doing? They are vibrating the particles of the air closer to it. How? Let me explain. For example, these are the speakers, and these speakers are vibrating the particles closer to them. For example, there are particles closer to speakers. So these speakers are going to vibrate the particles near to them, and then these particles are going to vibrate the particles nearer to them. And eventually when the air particles closest to your ear start vibrating, we hear sound. Now here the question is that how the back and forth movement of these particles are going to generate the sound, which is something like this. I'm speaking and you are listening to it. So how is that possible? So to answer this question, you have to watch the full video and you have to learn the whole structure of ear. I mean that the entire structure of ear. So without wasting the time, let's come to the structure of ear. Our ear has basically three parts. Our ear is basically divided into three parts: the outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. Now let's look at the different parts of the ear work together to produce a sound. That how these three parts work together and producing a sound. The outer ear starts with pinna. This structure is known as pinna. The part of your ear you can feel and you can touch, or it might be the structure that your mom twisted many times. So what is the job of pinna? So basically its job is to collect the sound waves as much as possible and then channel it to the auditory canal. This structure is known as auditory canal. So what is the function of pinna? To collect the sound from the surrounding and then channels it to the auditory canal. So the sound waves passes through the auditory canal and eventually meets the eardrum, which is shown purple in color. The eardrum is basically a transparent membrane. This structure is basically a transparent membrane which is too sensitive to waves of air. So as the air vibrates, even the eardrum starts vibrating just like the skin of drum. And also you can see here that the eardrum separates the outer ear from the middle ear. The middle ear consists of the three tiniest bones of the human body, and they are together called the ossicles, and they have a pretty cool names, as they are called the malleus, the incus, and the stapes. And here is the actual picture of these three bones. And because of their shape, they are also commonly called as the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. Stirrup is where you rest your feet when you are riding the horse. Alright. So, as the eardrum vibrates, the ossicles also start vibrating, transferring the vibrations from the eardrum to the inner ear. So their job is to increase or amplify the pressure of a sound wave. But why we need to increase the pressure of a sound wave when it reaches the inner ear? There is a big question. Because as we will see that the inner ear consists of a liquid instead of a air. So vibration must transfer into a liquid. And you might already know that the vibrating or the moving particles of a liquid is much harder than moving particles of an air. That is why it is very easy to swing your arms in the air, but it is pretty difficult to do that in the water while you are swimming. So to set the liquid in a vibration, the pressure has to be increased, and in fact the ossicle increase it 20 times. But how the ossicles do that? Well, just look at the base of the stapes. It has such a small area compared to that of the eardrum. So when the force gets transmitted from eardrum to the stapes, it gets concentrated in a very tiny area. And you might know, to concentrate the waves in the tiniest place increase the pressure, and that brings us to the inner ear. Inner ear consists of a bony structure which is shown in purple. Now as you see, the top part of the structure consists of the three semicircular rings. They help us in maintaining the balance when you are walking, dancing or whatever you do. So they do not involve in hearing. So not very much important for today's lecture. The part that involves in hearing is this nail-like structure. This is called the cochlea. What does it do? Well, these bones start vibrating to the sound. But nothing can hurt you until these vibrations get converted into electricity and send it to the brain, and that is exactly what the cochlea does. Now, the cochlea is super complex and is also a little mysterious. Even today there are certain things about it which we don't know. Hence we'll not go into the detail. But as mentioned earlier, it contains a liquid medium, and when the stirrup hits the cochlea and this liquid starts vibrating, and then there are certain specialized cells in the cochlea that convert these vibrations into electrical signals, and these electrical signals go through the auditory nerve all the way to your brain, where it gets finally interpreted as sound. And the cells of your cochlea are just amazing. The electrical impulses that they generated are super sensitive to how the loud sound is or how the feeble sound is, where it is high frequency or when it is low frequency. And as a result, the brain can differentiate the tiniest differences in the sound. And so you can understand different words or even understand what I am saying right now. And so to summarize, the outer ear collects the sound waves through the pinna and directs them to the eardrum. The three ossicle bones of the middle ear amplify this sound wave, transferring it to the cochlea. And then the cochlea transfers the back and forth vibrations of the particles into electrical signals and send it to the brain. And regardless of how many words are used to describe what's going on, the very fact that the back and forth movement of the ear get converted it into this experienced sound. Sound is truly just amazing and beyond the words. So this is all about today's lecture. I hope you get the concept of how we hear. If you like my video, give a thumb up and also subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.